Hey everyone, James Niggemeyer here. Thank you for tuning back into the YouTube channel. I've got some guide trips lined up, and I guide on probably one of the most popular big bass, trophy bass fishery destinations in the entire country. And it made me think about the presentations and what will get you more bites. And I found it to be true in my years on the Bassmaster Elite Series and just fishing tournaments from the West Coast to Florida to New York and everywhere in between. In most cases, this one thing will get you more bites. I want to say thank you to everyone that's tuned into the channel. If you're not a subscriber, please subscribe. I would certainly appreciate it. It's one of the best things that you can do to help me grow the channel. This one thing will help you get more bites. When it comes to fishing heavily pressured bodies of water, the biggest thing that I have found that can help anglers get more bites is just to slow down. And that seems so fundamental. It seems so like, come on, really? That's what this video is about? You got to give me something more than that. But that is probably the biggest single thing that I think will help anglers get more bites on heavily pressured fishing lakes and in situations where the bite's just not fantastic. A lot of times, let's face it, we're only fishing for a handful of bites a day. So the reality is either there's not many fish in the lake at all, or we're fishing too fast. Granted, there's some situations where we have the wrong presentation. Maybe the fall rate isn't right, or we're fishing too deep, or we should use a reaction type bait and we're fishing slow baits. But day in, day out, when you're in an area that you feel like fits all the criteria for the seasonal pattern, where fish should be that time of year, and you're fishing a bait that you feel like you should get bit on, more times than not, slowing down is the missing link. That's the thing that'll help you get more bites. And if you're fishing community holes, that's a big deal. Fish will really get conditioned to baits moving along at a particular clip. What we tend to do as anglers is we tend to have that muscle memory where if we've caught fish with the Senko doing this thing, then we're probably going to do it like that from here on out. I fish a rattle trap, fish a chatterbait, fish a spinnerbait. We fish, Carolina rig, a football jig. We do a certain thing that has paid dividends for us, has rewarded us with strikes. We typically do that thing over and over again. A lot of times long pauses, or when you come into cover, you just stop and just fish those areas very intentionally. You can get more bites. A lot of times we're just fishing through areas and the fish, like I said, they're conditioned to seeing all these things in the area. The reason they continue to stay there is because that's where the food is. There's a reason why community holes are so good. That's because they're typically good feeding grounds. There's a lot of bait fish, a lot of prey item opportunities, and there's generally some sort of structural element that makes it advantageous to them to feed in these areas. So even with the pressure, they hang around those areas. But a lot of times, you just really got to stall that bait out and slow it down. In a lot of instances, even just stop. I have a friend who fishes Lake Fork. He comes from another state, and he said, I never heard anyone say this. He said there's slow, and then there's Lake Fork slow. This is a really good angler, been a friend of mine for a lot of years. And he figured that out in just his couple of annual trips down to the Lake Fork area. He was figuring out that he had to really slow his bait down. And generally, when you're slowing a bait down, it's more of your jigs, your plastics, and those things. But sometimes it's just reeling around a bladed jig or a spinnerbait, or even just fishing a frog. I notice a lot of times when I'm fishing a frog, a lot of my bites, specifically in heavily pressured fishing situations, are on the pause. I can't stress that enough to my guide clients when we get out there. Pause that frog more times than not. That's when they're going to commode it. That's when they're going to eat it. So that's the one thing, the one piece of advice that I feel like I could give anglers that they can truly implement right now to help them get more bites. I definitely feel like slowing down is something that we just don't do enough of. We get out there on the water and we're excited and we start fishing our baits, moving through areas, turn the trolling motor up because we want positive affirmation. We want bites right now. And let's face it, there are times when the fish just aren't aggressive. The areas we've selected might actually be good areas. We just fish too fast through them. We fish what we like to call over the fish. Another thing is, man, I remember reading magazines when I was in my teen years, and they said, when you think you've gone slow enough, slow down. I want to say thank you again for tuning into the YouTube channel. If you got anything out of it, please give me a thumbs up. Drop a comment down below. I'd love to hear some of your stories about how slowing down made a big difference. And then also, check out my description section. I've got Team Niggemeyer Fishing merch. Also, there's links to my social media website. And if you're looking for a quality pair of Amphibia eye gear, there'll be a code there where you can get 20% off on your next pair of Amphibia eye gear. Until next time, thanks for watching and good fishing. Good fishing.